Hello, America.
It is.
Saturday
Yeah.
Night Live. Yep, we're back. Us two crazy Moors again. Well, it's time for the mantra, to bring in the flow. Okay, tonight is the new epoch of the gods again. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty power. So the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all. All that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we are now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now. Being and becoming the great primordial dragon god sign, Kundalini flames now whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakra to our central heart chakra, all the way up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Dragra, our hidden priestly Grand Master Magi, Dragon God, Sun King, and Queen, in all of our 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial Dragon God, Sun Kings, and Queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, willing all of the powers, all of the forces, all of the elements, all of the essences, all of the dark matter, all of the dark energy, all of the ethers ruling the entire omniverse, earth, and physical and spiritual matrix and heavenlies within the absolute all into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our wills, objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into realization, actualization, and form as we are now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force, an active source of supernal light and supernal energy that we're now using to unlock and activating all of our higher DNA, returning it all back online within us through the black dot within our first eye, universe B. Now, increasing the vibratory rate of our entire being up higher and higher and higher, changing every atom and subatomic particle of matter within our entire beingness back into a new primordial chaos to order being of higher manas, the master manifester of all reality and beingness, manifesting into our reality and beingness a new and greater mind connected to Atma, the Most High, while pulling in unlimited supernal light and energy from right out of Atma into our higher and lower manas, all the way down into our physical reality, manifesting it here as all of the substance that we need now to take total control of our reality in this matrix through the knowledge of our true higher and lower inner selves as we begin to learn how to magnetically reattaching all of our higher DNA back together again, empowered by the supernal light and energy of Atma control through higher manas to begin phasing in universe B, the world to come, while phasing out universe A, the world being and becoming destroyed now by raising the vibratory rate up so high until it begins awakening and igniting all of the divine sparks in this matrix one by one, going supramental consciousness together, bypassing all of their humanity, completely destroying the solutionary matrix at once, being and becoming pure supernal energy, vibrating higher and higher and higher, being and becoming more massive than the sun until we suck the entire sun and solar system into our supernal darkness and supernal light, collapsing this entire space-time continuum into our supernal energy as it continues to vibrate faster and faster and faster until it implodes and explodes, forming into universe be the world to come on a new earth expressed in its most grandest grace and beauty in a universe now built on the foundation and fabric of divine love, peace, justice, harmony, and balance, as all of the souls come together to celebrate the great feast and grand festival of the new epoch of the gods. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible life from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Abracadabra, Ashe. Dodgers must have won.
Presto Chango, I guess they have. I hear fireworks.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now let's go to crown chakra day libations. Ain, the nothingness, Ashe. Ain soft, the infinite, Ashe. Ain soft or the infinite light, Ashe. Adam Cat. Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days, I recamp in the big face, the primordial Christ, Ashe.
Ashe.
Absolute emanations, our supernal holy universe manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical names, the cosmic Christ, Ashe.
Ashe.
The great abyss of gnosis manifesting in us as our crown of Zaramp in the small face, the indwelling Christ, Ashe.
Ashe.
Berea, form, creation, and paradise manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical dark archangels and demons, Ashe.
Ashe.
Yetzirah, formation manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical orders of dark angels and demons, Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, the universe of action, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical earthly kingdom, Ashe. Yeshida, the holy divine infinite magical spark, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical will, Ashe.
Ashe.
Heya, our holy divine infinite magical life force. Our Heya, our holy divine infinite magical life force, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical desire, Ashe.
Ashe.
Neshama, our holy divine infinite magical heavenly soul, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical heavenly thoughts, Ashe.
Ashe.
Ruach, our holy divine infinite magical soul, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical word spoken through us, Ashe.
Ashe.
Nephish, our holy divine infinite magical earthly soul, manifesting into realization, actualization, and form as we are now will and commanded to be, Ashe.
Ashe.
Kether, the crown, the supernal crown, Ashe. Hakma, wisdom, the supernal father, Ashe. Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother, Ashe. Doth, the great abyss of gnosis, Ashe. Hesed, mercy, Ashe. Gavura, judgment, Ashe. Tifrit, beauty, Ashe. Netzik, victory, Ashe. Had, glory, Ashe. Yasad, foundation, Ashe. Malkut, the kingdom, Ashe. Power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of the primordial flower, the primordial and cosmic flower constantly blooming the absolute all into being. Ashe. Abracadabra, Ashe.
Ashe. Empress Ashe. Isis Ashe. Cyrus Ashe. Destiny Ashe. Order out of chaos beings Ashe. Beyond gods Ashe. Ma'at Ashe. All the gods known and unknown Ashe. All the goddesses known and unknown Ashe.
Ashe.
what it is, man.
Yeah, well, hey, uh, what's funny is that the Dodgers are, I guess, they're ahead 2 games to 1, and the last time they won a World Championship or World Series, it was after we had a blue moon, and that was in 2020. And what's funny, this year we had a super blue moon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the Dodgers, they win. They'll win a championship every blue moon.
Wow.
I don't want to put that on because the next blue moon that's not due for a long time.
Right. That's deep.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. Shit happened to me on the blue moon in 2020, and the same shit damn near happened again.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all kind of crazy shit coming together. Like next year is going to be the year of the nine, 2025, nine, and the year of the dragon. Hey, I mean, damn, that's telling something to me because my birth number is 9, and I was born year of the dragon.
Wow.
Hmm.
Well, the thing about these things is like we think the numbers bring the significance to the magic, and it's really the us observing these things and um, being aware when these
Hmm.
things happen. That's what
Hmm.
that's what the power is,
Hmm.
right? The ancestors knew that they were into numerology. They were into sacred dates. They were into all these different things, but the event wasn't the big deal.
They were in the cycles.
The
They
event
were.
was the big deal. The observation, awareness of what it means to us as humans. We don't
Yeah.
take we don't think like they teach us in Western science that humanity is insignificant, right?
Hmm.
Well, humanity may be insignificant, but what's inside of humanity is divine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Because everything in this matrix is was created from a flaw and will end in a flaw. So humanity is a part of that flaw. However, the only thing that's not a part of the flaw is, like you said, is the divine spark. That's the only thing that's real here. That's the only thing we must raise up. That's the
I mean,
main
that's
thing
the
we
only
must raise.
thing that's really real. Like you just said, it's the only thing that's real. Once humanity, because we're whatever we focused on, that becomes reality.
Yeah, it's like the spirit. You have the invisible part of us, the part of us, the most powerful part has no body, but it's connected to this other part of us, a lower mental part of us, an emotional part of us, an etheric part of us, and all the way down to the physical. All of those parts of us at some point are going to be dissolved, and we're going to go all the way back up into the causal body, which is the seat of the soul.
Right.
Yeah.
These are just fragments of that reality, of that real, of what we call in real. It's just
Yeah.
fragments. All we're looking at is figments and fragments. Like that's
Ye-
what's going to go away.
Yeah. But while we're in this and we become aware that, yeah, there's a higher part of us over all of this down here, this is just a fragment of something greater, then we can gain contact with one another and manifest from there.
There are beings who have evolved to levels where is beyond intelligence are what they call divine divine dark
Mhm.
intelligence, right?
Yeah, it's
And
yeah
it's
because
beyond what we're conceiving intelligence as humans. It's not that. It's not the same thing.
Yes,
We have
it's
to realize as humans that what we deem as intelligence or awareness or consciousness is just not all that consciousness can be. Like consciousness is so many different aspects and forms of consciousness.
oh, it's infinite. It's infinite.
Right,
It's beyond infinite.
right,
It's so infinite that each one of us is an infinity within infinity.
right,
Yeah,
right.
it's it's fucking infinite. It's fractal. It's like fractals, an eternity of fractals.
But that's a perception from our perception from us being cultivated in a society, because that's another way you cultivate energy. A society and the norms of that society, the culture of that society cultivates a certain energy within the masses.
Yeah.
And we have to realize this is why they spend so much time socially engineering us in the matrix. The matrix, see the deeper part of the matrix is what people don't understand. They saying the matrix is about them using us as batteries, right?
Hmm.
But it's not for physical gain.
It's not for physical gain.
No.
Oh, it's for the energy, right?
It's for a spirit. It's for to tilt the pendulum towards them energetically. It's to tilt the pendulum. That's
Hmm.
all their concerns is to tilt the pendulum slightly toward their way, so they can have at least a sometime in their finite. They can have some time, because that's all they care about, is to have that finite
Moment.
moment. That
Okay.
finite moment. That's all
Well,
they
they were
care
given
about.
what
That's
they
why
were
they got to
given.
keep us paying attention to finite.
Yeah. Well, they were given that chance, and now it's gotten old. It's gotten old, and it's gotten very
Well,
ugly.
you have to be able to recognize in your energy, like you have to cultivate these things. Like good is bad, bad is good, uh, negative is positive, positive is negative. Well,
Well,
we,
you
we,
talking
we
about
do,
polarity?
huh? Yes, all of
Yeah.
it is going into that stage of condition. All of the universe is going. All of the energy is going into that, because we're evolving. See, that going back to this full circle again. What I
Yeah.
first said, and it's not the events that's happening.
Hmm. It's
It's what's going on in humanity.
our awareness of the events.
Yes, it's not the events. We paying attention to the events, but we're not realizing this is a long term prophecy being fulfilled. Right? When you
Yeah.
talk about prophecy, what are you talking about? You talking about random humans just predicting some events that's supposed to happen? No, this is a long term connected to the higher sources, higher power situation that humanity is in, and they are somewhat you are a pawn in this if you don't realize what you actually are.
Well, it's all based on, again, cycles. All right. Our
Of course,
ancestors been through these cycles so many times until they understand how consciousness plays out in each cycle that we go through. They
right,
understand the ebb and flow of consciousness.
right,
The day side, the night side. This is what
right.
happens in the night side. And then we go into the day side. This is what happens in the day side. Our ancestors know what we had to do when we are on the day side before we went into the night side. And
They
so
set
then
up.
they set up. And
They
so
set
when we
up
went
stuff.
into
Yep,
the
yep, yep,
night
yep,
side,
yep.
we would do the things that we had to do right to go back into the day side in power.
Right.
So if you don't do what you're supposed to do in the night side, then you're not going to go into the day side as the dominant. You might not make it to the day side because you might not make it through the turbulence that you have to go through to get to the day side. But
Humanity is a pawn in our evolution.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
People spend too much time focused on that, and that's the matrix. You focus on it because really 666 actually means humanity.
Well, it means this dimension that we live in right now, the matrix, this the carbon at this form of carbon. I think we go to 661, don't we? After this, which is 13.
I'm not sure about what you're referring to, but I'm dealing with the the fact that we are just looking at ourselves as humans, and that's the fall mistake. That's the mistake. We look at ourselves as just human. We're not tuned into the multi-dimensional aspect of who we are.
Well, that's because we don't know the cycle. We don't know what cycle we're in. We don't. We've been cut off from that. We allowed ourselves. Well, we declined anyway because everything has to degenerate. Okay, so we degenerated,
Well,
and
the
then not degenerate. We we knew, but we knew going into the other cycle that we had in order for us to become out go into the golden age of something new, brand new, we were going to have to go through this all this turbulence and go through all this fucked up shit. So all the we can get the pressure that we need, the nourishment that we need, so to decline and go through the putrefaction and the uh, um, what's the other one? Putrefaction and
separating the purifying it, and it's you gotta it's
putrefying and well, we know, but that's how you turn grapes into wine. We're turning being changed into the fine wine. So after we go through the putrefaction and the um, are going through our fermentation and putrefaction process, and we set up. The ancestors were smart. They our slave masters are really we're their slave masters. We gave, yeah, like you said, they gave them permission to do what they're doing, but they were also given custodialship over all of our knowledge. So that way, when we wake up, it'll be there and we can regain our knowledge and retake the throne again, like we're doing now. So you're right. It was all set up. This is all set up. This shit was set up thousands and thousands of years ago, and it wasn't them that set it up. We did.
right.
In a sense, we set them up.
Here it is, the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the steps of alchemy, whether spiritual or hermetic, hermetic, involves a series of steps. Here are the commonly recognized steps of alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
Calcination, that's the
Calcination.
process. Calcination, the process of heating or burning down matter. Raw matter. See,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we're doing now,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're burning down raw matter and dissolving it,
The
meditate, and uh,
dissolution. Yes. Into a fluid condition. Separation.
Right.
division of
Yeah.
emotions acquired during dissolution, conjunction, unification of opposites,
Woo!
transformation and growth, distillation, refinement and purification, coagulation, solidification, and completion. Mm,
Right.
the seven processes.
So
Damn.
this is literally what we're going through from uh on a spiritual level, but also from a spirit because this is what it say. All matter is a form of spiritual energy.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
it's the
it's a lower vibrational form of spiritual energy.
yeah. They both are one of the same.
Right.
They both the polarity. They both the same thing, just two different degrees of the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's why I
yeah.
said one is on one frequency and another is on another frequency.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
they're
it's the
not
same
separate.
material,
Hmm.
right? So
Yep.
when you understand that, you understand why alchemy became the royal art. It goes
Yeah.
into because I was about to explain how, especially us as melanated
Hmm.
beings in the organic world, and how it correlates with the spiritual world, and is like it's connected in the sense of these are two polarities, and
Yeah.
one of the extreme of one end and one of the extreme of the other, and
Hmm.
we have to recognize this connection, this correlation, and tap into that frequency to a point where this is how they built the pyramids, because even the Western world can't understand how to tap into the frequencies, the resident frequencies of the nature of matter around them, right?
Yeah.
They haven't figured this out, or they probably have, but they have a perverted vision of it because this is their mindset. Because they're like six ether beings. We are nine ether beings.
Yeah. You should see this TikTok commercial on how they theorized how the Egyptians had the pyramids built. They said the Egyptians did some rituals and summoned some giants through a stargate, and they came over and they helped them build them.
Whenever people use mythology to explain something that
Hmm.
may be physical, or it may be, whenever they're using that, this is the
Hmm.
only way that we can make a leap from these two frequencies. The
Hmm.
so-called reality be based on consciousness that people have been recognized. That's a program in itself.
Hmm.
Indoctrination. We've all been programmed that physical reality is physical, and it's solid, it's solidified. But
Yeah.
now they're just now introducing us to these quantum realities of everything is moving around us. Our ancestors already knew. They suppressed it
Hmm.
because what if they suppress it, right? That'll throw us off. Now we don't have the birthright because we don't know who we are.
Yeah.
Because we can't call now. Look, this is why all of this information that we're learning about our seafaring power politically, how
Yeah.
we have the most powerful political identity on the planet, bro. We are the most powerful politically on the planet,
Hmm.
Moroccan Empire. Now,
Okay.
a lot of people, a lot of people want to disassociate us with the Morocco, right? But
Yeah.
then everybody who says that, oh, y'all not the Moroccans, y'all not the Moors, right?
Hmm.
And then when you break it all down, it's always been associated with the darker skinned people, black or more. That was the original reference from the Ethiopian Bible.
Hmm.
They refer to it as black or more,
Hmm.
right? Meaning,
Hmm.
and they had it spelled in a certain way. And this is like way before the lexicon that we're into. The lexicon meaning the wordplay that we use today.
Yeah.
Before this lexicon, this is what I swear when I be explaining stuff to people, it's like you have to dive into other subject matters outside of what is popular and what people told you think about and what TV tell you to think about.
Yeah, you got to think outside the box. You got to be able to think for yourself. You got to
You gotta not only
actually.
think for yourself, you gotta study. We have to study. It's not in this.
Yeah, you got to
Look,
study.
be I wouldn't even be nowhere near where I need to be in my evolution
Mm-hmm.
and my self-awareness if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for me studying.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? That's the
Mm.
ultimate love right there is to study. Like going
Yeah,
back to what I was saying, before these words entered into the lexicon that we see, the social engineering program we see today,
yeah,
that word, that title was associated with us as a people, right? And we even go further, right? Morocco was also called Marrakesh. These are
mm.
two, it has our name in it.
Mm.
Moors, Morocco, Marrakesh. So
Mm-hmm.
people
More.
try to, I mean, I think they just think people are just silly, especially in our community. Everybody feel like nobody else is studying, and they a lot. Let's just be honest, man. These
They
charlatans
think,
in our community are making a killing off of the ignorance of the people.
yeah, they are, and the
They're making
people
a killing.
are ignorant, and the people, even the educated people, are ignorant.
No, but educated people are getting paid, man.
Oh, they getting paid.
Hell yeah, they getting paid, man. To sit back and don't say nothing about anything that's substance. If it's substance, if it makes them connect the dots from who they actually are, they shut
Yeah,
that down.
yeah. So they have to make a commitment. They have to make do a. They have to pledge themselves to that group.
Duh, the secret society, all of them go to college and pledge what? The
Oh,
fraternity.
the
What is a
fraternity and
fraternity?
sororities.
Once you understand what a fraternity is, man, then you understand. People are not even doing that basic research.
Yeah.
These
Okay.
people
Right.
are working within their order. They're in an order. They
A
have orders. They
society.
have duties within the order,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to understand these orders go way back to why we're calling ourselves Moors, because you got to watch that episode of uh, Love Country, Love Country,
Oh, Lovecraft.
Lovecraft,
Yeah.
Lovecraft. My bad, Love Country. I said Love Country,
Yeah.
Lovecraft, right?
Yeah.
Where I don't know who writing this shit, man. They must have been listening to Bobby Hemmett.
They
Listen,
probably.
man, did you see the episode where old boy went in? The brother went in there,
Mm-hmm.
and the secret society members had to bow down to him.
I've seen the spoiler, and I think I remember something like that.
That they just told us who we are in that episode.
Yeah.
We we actually gave them the order.
Mm.
We gave them the order.
No.
We told them to do everything they doing right now, even the harsh stuff that people got emotional. Oh, they enslaved us. We enslaved them too. So that
Mm-hmm.
that evens that out. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, like I said, we think of ourselves as just human and all the humanity of it, right? When we don't
Mm-hmm.
recognize, we set this shit all up.
Yeah. Yeah. So that way we could become gods again.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you.
This is what we had to go through to be gods again.
But you notice that people in that community, they're fucking ultra sensitive, and they getting paid too. Because
Yeah.
that whole Africa, we come from Africa, we was slave
Yeah.
boats. That's a big
Yeah.
industry. That's
Yeah.
an industry.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
making billions of dollars off that lie,
Mm-hmm.
right? How are they able to allocate funds from the government for programs to perpetuate that lie that we Africans and we came over here on boats, and the government is giving funding for that. Look, listen. Oh
Yeah.
boy, brother Ben, Dr. Ben.
Mm-hmm.
You know he worked for UNESCO, right? You know what UNESCO is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, UNESCO is a UN institution or that's connected to the UN, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, these this is crazy. These are if I'm not mistaken, they got different um, people who come who are experts in certain history of the world, history of
Mm-hmm.
the world, right?
Historians.
Historians, right, from different
Mm-hmm.
areas of the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they got these people to promote or to push the narrative. Like, imagine, okay, push this. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
we come in there and UNESCO and say, squash all that. We came from Africa crap. We were a global people and we was all over the planet. Oh,
Yeah.
we gonna get him. We got to get him. I'm trying to tell you what's going on, y'all. We was this narrative that they want to push works in their benefit,
Yeah.
right? Because it makes us look totally away. I got my own brothers and sisters arguing with me about who we are, and no, you're not Moroccan, you're not all this. I'm like, wait a minute, okay, fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine,
Yeah.
okay, because I'm not about to argue with you, right?
No,
I'm
you can't.
saying that our we have bloodline ties to all of these different groups of people on the planet. We all these people. Imagine there was a global empire. There was a global, like they use the word new world order.
Mm-hmm.
What if there was an old world order on the whole globe where everybody was connected to each other and had a whole global market that was set up by our people?
Mm.
That would
And,
totally throw off the whole narrative that the Western world has pushed,
mm-hmm.
which is being dismantled as we speak. I mean, everybody sees through the bullshit now. Shit didn't start. They talking about the new world. History didn't start when the Europeans start writing it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it didn't start. That's where it got fucked up.
That's when they start lying, and we told them to do this. That's when they start suppressing. That's when they start controlling the narrative,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Birthrights. We have birthrights to the whole planet.
Mm-hmm.
We can shut down all of these new states that's trying to push their determination, their self-determination, their national agendas,
Yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
gonna shut it down with this Moorish government. We shut
Okay.
it down all down with the Moorish government because we're gonna make them we're gonna make them live up to the contract that we had with y'all. Now,
Mm-hmm.
okay, think about this. Now think about
Yeah.
this. Oh, y'all not the Moroccans. Y'all not this. Y'all not. Well, wait a minute. Ain't that what we saying? Y'all, we not the Indians then either, huh? We not the Hebrews. We might as well say whatever we ain't. You saying we because it seemed like it's convenient now when y'all say we not this. It's convenient for your argument now.
Yeah.
Like we not the. I mean, I think we can really claim all of those people in the ancient world.
Mm-hmm.
The Kamites, the Hebrews, like even the goddamn Europeans is coming to find out we was the Europeans.
Oh goddamn. We were
Wow, we was
Ethiopians
the
and
Greeks, we was the
we're
Romans,
the Etruscans.
the Etruscans.
We were in India. We were
We
in
are the
Asia.
Indians. I'm talking about the ones that are called Hindustan in Hindustan,
Yeah, we
the
were
Hindu
there.
people.
Mm-hmm. We were in Tibet. No, all up
Listen,
in the.
how do I know? How do I know that we are all these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look deep into all of those different people, so-called different people's culture, right? And
Yeah.
you'll find out that the only way to God is through Him, right? Well, who's Him?
Yeah. Who's him?
The black dot.
The black. Oh. Okay.
And
Damn.
guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? We are the only one genetically dispositioned to actually activate the black dot. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody on the planet is really practicing melanated people's culture and ways of getting to the higher
Yeah.
aspects of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Let's just think about it. Look at all. Let's look. Jesus is one aspect of it. The Hindu, the what they call that in Hindu, the these different states that you're supposed to go through in Hinduism, and all
Neo.
these different states you're supposed to go through and to get to what they're referring to as the divine their area. Judaism, when you're going deeper into the Judaism system, or you get into Kabbalah and and a deeper understanding of Torah and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What are they talking about? They all talking about melanated beings
Mm-hmm.
going through
Well,
an alchemic process and reaching higher states of consciousness.
yeah, because that's the cycle we're in. This is the part of the cycle. We're coming out of the night cycle, going into the day cycle. So this is what we're supposed to be doing.
So
Because
coming into the day cycle, we connecting the dots on what I just said. It was a global empire. It was a global communication amongst groups of people that was a world order on the whole planet.
yeah, and we've been through, and we went through the whole 24,000 year cycle together, probably several times.
Right.
Until somebody came down here and hijacked our reality.
Well, all they could have to do that was colonize the mind of the indigenous people who had that knowledge in their DNA.
While they were in their decline.
Right. And that was
So they,
purposely. Like, these are the events we're talking about, like we said. The events that happen are already known by our people, so we set ourselves up in a way. Like, we
so
wanted to go through everything we went through. Y'all stop saying, oh,
uh,
humanity and we went through slavery and we need to. Do you see what that done to you? What that's done to you is make you a perpetual victim. It makes you
inferior,
a perpetual victim that sees themselves as
inferior,
dependent on your slave master.
inferior.
So
Maybe
where are you becoming the supreme person you were prior to this moment in time? And it wasn't just a glimpse in time. That's crazy.
no, they ain't talking about I'm a supreme slave.
I mean,
You're
that's your
supreme among
position.
slaves.
I'm not arguing with people who want to. That's why I was saying online the other day. I was getting at some people online. I'll be going back and forth debating these cats online, and basically some of them just accept being subordinate to an inferior on our land because the United States of America is not a sovereign over here.
No,
The
no,
United States of
they hear
America
about.
is not a sovereign. Canada, that's not a
Mm-hmm.
sovereign over here. Stop it.
Mm-mm.
Come on, man. This is we break this shit
No,
down, man.
we're under
They're not
occupation.
sovereigns over here. They're not sovereigns over here.
You know,
Those
they got you thinking
those
that.
right. So they got
They
you
got you
caught up
thinking.
in because they're
You read
operating
that shit in your history books that they wrote,
right.
and the
The
movie that
plan,
they show you.
they have never wavered from their plans, man. Colonization. The other day I put up voting. Voting only maintains European colonization on Moorish land.
Yeah.
Why? Because a population of voters gives them the right under international law, right? They have a population of
Mm-hmm.
voters. They have the right to exist as a state.
Yep. Yeah.
They have the right
Yeah.
to exist
Because
as a state based on international
yeah,
law.
Yeah, I've been doing my homework. I was read some. I did some notes on that shit.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. This is where I left off at last week. Okay. It is important to conscious Moors to know where we go to make our argument, to know that the United States Supreme Court is not the proper venue. The United States is not the occupying sovereign. Isn't the United States is not an occupying sovereign. The 13 states' authority to appear in on Moorish land is through the 1781 definitive peace treaty. It's a conquest. New York State authority to operate a land does not come from the Moors. Our land is under conquest by colonization. New York
Okay, so
State
let me
authority.
stop you right quick. Can I stop you right quick? Can I stop you right quick?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Can I stop you right quick right there? Because I need to address what you just said.
Uh-huh.
You said
Yeah.
they're saying it's a conquest, right? And that's what it
Yes.
is, right? The only way
Mm-hmm.
it's looked at as a conquest is because we're not knowledgeable about international law and the fact that, okay, no, that will be wartime law. But there's
Mm-hmm.
peacetime laws too. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
because this is key.
Mm-hmm.
We are based on the treaty supposed to be at peace with the European nations.
Mm-hmm.
But they're applying, listen, I'm about to kill y'all. All y'all trying to act like y'all know. They're using wartime law to occupy our land.
Mm.
How can they do that when they're supposed to be adhering to the treaties?
Mm-hmm.
Because they we are not the people of the treaties based on their legislation labeling us as African American, black. We not party to the treaty. They're not looking at it as a party of the treaty because of our own admissions of being black, Negro, African American, whatever we are in this week.
Oh, they say you're not them. Oh, fuck it. We get to do whatever the fuck we can with y'all.
They're
Come here.
using
You motherfuckers.
wartime. Listen, let's look this up. Everything I say, go look this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Wartime law,
Mm-hmm.
peacetime law. They're using
Okay.
wartime law to occupy our land because we not awoke and can't see when we wake up and be like, oh no, we got treaties with y'all that's supposed to be perpetual treaty. We the Moors. We got treaties with
Mm-hmm.
y'all. So y'all can't say y'all occupying. So what happens is all of what we're saying, what you're reading right now, comes into play now because we're aware of it now and we're calling that out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay. The restoration of. Wait, let me see. 13 states. Blah blah blah. Peace treaty. Blah 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 blah. Okay. The restoration of national political unity among our people by Sister uh, Pocola. Okay, putting people on a larger awareness that they have to have a nationality, meaning we have to come together as a united group and not it be religious based, but let it be known or let it be from the perspective that we are a collapsed nation, and some of us are still coming to terms with what actually happened. And one can't get caught up in the history or can't get too caught up in the history of it. We're trying to get the remedy of being of being a less occupied nation. Others may have another perspective, or spiritual sovereignty is what they call it. And that's not necessarily anything to frown on. We're in a situation right now where we're being subjugated in various ways, or we're being taxed in various ways. So we're being affected right now. we need unification at this point. We can find out about spiritual unity, but our feet are on the ground here, and we're affected every day. And the colonists are not giving up any control or resources of our land, and we 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 can we can't necessarily be in the clouds too much when they're not changing. And so, in order to change a situation, we have to change by coming together. And there is a plan where we can make this happen called the post millennium process. This process of becoming a legitimate nation in the eyes of the international community, we actually have to show the consent of the people, or at least a volume of people standing in support with. So we will need to give those people some kind of explanation of our pursuit of national sovereignty. They will not know as much as what we know. They will not ask the questions that's legitimate. They'll ask questions at the level of their competency, which will be, I've heard of the Moors somewhere. The Moors of Spain, basically, they have no knowledge of us. They have no knowledge of what the journey has been for some of the forerunners in the movement. So there will have to come to a point of giving answering their questions, because we don't want to turn off people. We do not. We do want the people to join in on their own salvation. So we will have to come across with information for people to let them know that you're in colonization. And if you know that, you're a leader. If you know that you're a leader, a potential leader, then it's time to step it up.
So
And then,
go
mhm.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. And then, you guys, there was a conference last May on the 18th called the Moorish Political Unity Conference, and the proposal of a plan for the establishment of the Moorish Imperial Parliament Council through the Treaty of Liberty, as an agreement uniting various Moorish body politics into an intergovernment alliance, Moorish governance, birthrights, and nationality claim conference, May the 18th, 2024, a political mechanism of restoration and domestic and international policies to protect and secure the common good for the people, both conscious and unconscious Moors, and to serve as a caretaker and voice for them among the family of nations. I'm finished.
Okay, let me break it down as simple as this, man. The
Mm-hmm.
answer for us as a people, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's whether it's homelessness, whether it's mental issues in the community, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
homeless, whether it's immoral issues that affect our community. You know what I'm saying? Whether
Or
it's lack
lack of
of
resources, lack of
lack
resources.
of resources, all of that can be solved with political unity. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Political unity just means that we agree on who we are politically. We don't have to agree religiously. We don't have to agree on everything. We just have to agree on where we stand politically, right?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
that does that is that builds a body. That's the beginning of building a body politics. A growth. We're going through the stages of becoming recognized as a state based on international law, right? First, we have to
Mm-hmm.
agree upon
Yeah.
something. We're talking about with the treaty, the treaties.
Mm-hmm.
We have to sign a treaty amongst each other. All the different bodies of Moors. whether you still don't understand yourself as being a more, that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
different groups of bodies of people or institutions of so-called melanated people need to come together
Yeah.
and come to an agreement on where we stand politically on Morris land. Like what Jay was talking about, nobody knows the history, nobody knows that and it's true. Or people deny it or
Mm-hmm.
discredit it in a sense that and it's like, let's look at this from the perspective of us for a minute and stop looking at it from the perspective of our colonizers. We mostly look at
Yes.
things from the perspective of our colonizers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to stop looking
Yeah,
at it
that's
from
all
their
because
perspective, right? We got to look at it from our perspective, right? This is what we're introducing to you. When I first got into Morris science, it resonated with my
yes.
spirit. It resonated with my spirit. And then what happened
Mm-hmm.
was when it resonated with my spirit, all type of genetic memories start popping online. That junk
Yeah.
DNA, that junk
It
DNA,
just
that y'all
wakes
call
up.
junk DNA, that's it. That stuff start coming online.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Because
Because
now it has a
it's
reason to.
it's not only that, it was a condition. It was a condition of having a pure heart at the time when I got introduced to it. Everyone who's being, a lot of people who are being introduced, they're not genuine. You're under social engineering. You're not genuine. Y'all
Yeah.
agenda right now, based on the state of mind you're in and the level of vibrational energy that your spirit is in right now, is materialism, superficial, shallow. It's like this is where y'all vibrating at.
Yeah.
Y'all
And now you
vibrating on
see,
the lowest levels of yourself, self desires, and ego.
and look at your icons that promotes everything that you worship, everything that you adore. Look at
Right,
your
because
icons.
you're right. You're right. Go ahead.
I tell you one thing: you better hide your kids from them because they coming
That's
after.
exactly that's exactly what Kendrick said in that new. He said, "I know you just better hide your kids from them. You better hide your kids from 'em. These
You better
motherfuckers is
know.
crazy, man. You got to
Yeah, they
realize
coming.
that this is going to be what's. Let me tell you what's happening right now, man. There's going to be a divide between righteous people and
Mm-hmm.
people who are wicked as fuck, man. And
Yeah.
those who are swayed by the wickedness, meaning that temptation that the Bible spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can be tempted by that. Go ahead, go on and see where it take you.
Oh,
I see a lot of
yeah.
people who tempted by it, trying to justify it in some type of way until it becomes
Mm-hmm.
until the darkness that was in dark came to light. Now everybody telling on P Diddy. Why wouldn't y'all telling on him? And why wouldn't y'all telling on R Kelly? Why are they using melanated people as a scapegoat when the Europeans, that's their culture? All of the stuff, all of the stuff that they're accusing so-called, that is actually their culture. Pedophilia, man,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly, I'm just all this stuff is their culture, man. It comes from them. Like they're the
Yeah.
perverted one. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
you
mean,
might have some perverted melanated ones too. Or they might originate. They might originate. Melanated people might originate all the perversion bullshit going on, right? That doesn't matter. It's a divide. I'm not saying all melanated people are righteous because they got melanin.
but then again, there was still before white people were invented, there was another counterfeit race that was here before them that looked like us too, but
Yes,
that
yes,
wasn't.
right,
And
right,
they were here doing some fucked up shit.
right, right.
Hmm.
So this is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing true people true colors are going to be shown, and that's a good thing.
Hmm.
That's a good thing, man. Let's see it. Let's expose it all. And that's what was predicted. This was prophesied. The veil will be lifted.
The great divide. The wheat will be separated from the chaff.
and you can't do nothing about it. But guess what? People you love are going to be going the other way. I'm trying to tell y'all.
They've been taken over by their selfishness and by the darkness. I wouldn't even call it darkness.
I would just say lower vibrational desires, and they get caught up in
Yeah,
humanity too much. They get emotionally attached to humanity, and then now they want these lower desires when there's a greater purpose here. There's a greater
yeah,
purpose here.
because to me, there's nothing more divine than darkness.
Of
Because
course,
everything comes from darkness.
of
Even the
course,
light has to go back to the darkness.
exactly. So what I'm saying,
So
what I'm saying is that we have to check our hearts. Every individual, check your heart. Where you at? Where you at? Check your vibrational energy. Where you at? Because
yeah,
those who are slaves to their lower vibrational selves, meaning, listen to what I'm saying. This is I've come up with this. If you are vibrating below the heart chakra, you are acceptable to all of these beings. Like, this is what I'm seeing today now. Most
yeah.
people are not even alive. They are hosts for some being.
hmm Yeah, there's nothing there except for just
They're a
whatever the
host for whatever lower being that wants to possess them.
and but what's funny is that this being is able to possess more than one person. It's
Listen,
like
bro.
a lot of
This
people are possessed by the same being.
the being that's possessing them, right, is
hmm
nothing more than a lower demon that they didn't check. How do you check your demons? Do the shadow work, right? You got to
hmm
recognize why did the Kemet, why was Kemet, this is why going back to the culture. The culture here is not cultivating that evolution. The culture in Kemet was cultivating that spiritual, higher soul evolution, right? This
Yeah,
is why
because
they
they were
waged war
supposed
with the
to, but at the same token, though, they were racing against the devil because they knew they were on a decline. Kemet started on the decline, not
of the
on the
energy.
incline.
Yep,
It was on the
yes, on the decline of human cycle evolution. This is why
hmm
this program is called Soul Cycle Alchemy,
Yeah.
right?
So
That
now,
literally that title. I'm good at titling shit because I got these deeper connections to, and I can be like when I when we were doing the caucus, right? I'm the one named it the
hmm
Moorish Imperial Restoration Caucus. Why? Because
oh, okay,
I named it the Moorish Imperial Restoration Caucus. Right?
oh, okay.
Because I was able to put all this stuff together and come up with names that show that I was familiar with this history and how the treaties play into it and how our status today plays into it. I see.
hmm
I can connect all the shit now. I can explain
Yeah,
it how that
you're
is
helping me.
us. That was us. That hegemony that we're calling the Morocco. That was
Yeah.
us.
Okay.
Those who no, listen to what I'm saying. That was us, right? But mind you, going back to what I'm saying, all of it was us,
hmm
right? People having this
hmm
argument where we having this back and forth where we're I'm pushing the mindset or pushing the historical recognition of the fact that we are not a party to the United States Constitution. We're not a party to it.
Mm-mm. They
We're
have
not
no
a party to
jurisdiction.
it.
Yeah, actually, if we come together and do our restore ourselves back to our original status, There's no more United States Constitution.
Well, it probably is still a United States Constitution. I wouldn't say all that, but it doesn't apply to us. And we on a superior level where all we do is government to government relationship with the United States of America. We become that's our relationship with them. That's how our relationship supposed to be with them. Melanated people who are Moors should not have a relationship with the so-called United States of America, where they pass legislation to accommodate us in this weird situation, this weird political. Because let's just go into it. The 14th Amendment didn't make you a goddamn full citizen of the United States. The 14th, 15th, and 16th Amendment, mind you, amendments, right? Some people call amendments of original documents. They saying it's strained from because the amendment is modifying from the original. Why you think some of the states did not ratify the 14th Amendment until later on? Mississippi didn't ratify it to the 80s. Hello? Say it again. What just happened? I don't. I was just talking and you just went out right quick. I'm still live though. I'm still live. Yeah, I'm still live. You just got kicked out probably. That's on your end. Cause I'm still live. You just got kicked out. Yeah. Right. I was just finishing up anyway. So yeah. Every time we start connecting the dots at this level, they gon' straddle our what they call it, straddle it. Yeah. Why? Because we don't even got an audience, and they like any possibility of this information get connected. This is the problem with our community. We can't connect the dots on a lot of shit. we gotta learn how to connect the dots, man. You know, too occupied. They got too much other shit going on in their mind. Yeah. Okay, I'm here. All right. I should be back now. Yeah, I'm back. I don't see you still. Okay, because we're still live. Yeah, you should. I mean, I don't see your thing. I'm usually be able to see you down off stage, and I don't see you off stage. Really? Make sure I'm in the one. Yeah, no, you ain't. Okay. No, you ain't. Because I would be able to see you backstage. You ain't on backstage. All you gotta do is click the link again. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's already on the link. I mean, I'm looking at the website. Then what you gave me, the link that you gave me is there. I'm looking right at it. BYP. Right, you just not backstage though. That's what I'm saying. You're not backstage because I'll see you backstage now. Okay, I'll see you backstage now. So
Yeah. Okay, let me.
But like I was saying though, it's like if we would interact with the United States of America based on our actual status and stop and we as a group, I'm talking about as a group, 40 million of us, I know it's more than that. That's another important reason why we need our government, so we can do a survey of our people on our own. We will never know nothing accurate about ourselves until we do it on our fucking own. What the fuck? This shit ain't right. Yeah. Fuck. I mean, at the end of the day, they had to pin us to get ourselves so well that, and that's this happened. It's working. We pinned against ourselves so well that we don't care about solving issues in our community, we expect somebody else to do it, man. We expect somebody else to do everything for us, and we try to act like that's a good position for us to be in. We're vulnerable as hell, other people. We are at the we
Yeah,
are at the
yeah,
whims,
that's not.
we are at the whims, and again go back to the
Yeah.
14th, 15th, 16th Amendment, right? I've
Mm-hmm.
heard Negro act like that was a victory for us as a people. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Tried to play like, oh, our people fought for them to pass the 14th, 15th, 16th Amendment. I'm like, wait a minute. I get it based on the lower understanding of who you were, and you made decisions based in that. Not you're not recognizing who you are. You don't know what's going on here, right? But now we know who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We are the Moors in the treaties that are superior law over here on this land, right? So why would we
Mm-hmm.
continue to take the inferior and go by U.S. language, U.S. legislative language? That would be an inferior position for us, right?
Yeah, and it's not going to work in our favor. It never has.
It never has. So why won't we
We're not
just
going to.
claim who we are? Because they will say, we not the Moors. Okay, but what do Moor mean? Moor means black. Well, guess that doesn't mean that's who we are. Even though that's bullshit, Moor don't mean no damn black. The fuck?
I'm a Lord of the land.
Huh?
Doesn't it mean Lord? Doesn't it mean Lord of the land? The Lord
Man,
of the
there are
land.
multiple meanings to Moor, right? The
Mm-hmm.
most
Mm-hmm.
significant one that I've researched that connected
Mm-hmm.
to the vast power, maritime power of the was the fact that we were trans navigators of the planet. We were a maritime seafaring people,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The word "moor" literally means anchoring your ship to the shore. So "moor" is not only a noun; it is a verb. We
Okay.
moored not only on the physical plane, but we moored
Mm-hmm.
on the spiritual plane,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Meaning
So yeah.
we sailed the waves.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
sailed the
because
waves.
we didn't start down here. We started from up high.
So I just gave
We
y'all a
st-
deeper understanding of more. More is not just a political identity that is associated with this ancient empire called the Moroccan Empire.
so it describes of certain people as
Yes,
well.
we
It's
are
a
the
description.
Moors. We are the Moors because we transnavigated not only the physical world, but we transnavigated the cosmos. We transnavigated all the planes of existence.
Yeah, all the ethers. So we all. So it's time. I guess it's time for us to step up, wake up, step up, and
So our interaction with the United States of America should be a government to government relationship. It should not be
then
us being subjected to their legislative language.
yeah, and then once returns to that, then it's all about them paying us tariffs.
Right, right. Thank you. Why
Yeah.
you think it's so important for them to keep us going through the emotional roller coaster of their bullshit society that's coming apart? That's what's going because this is why it's so important for us to build it, and they're definitely gonna come because the system that they're dependent upon is falling apart, it's collapsing. So
Hmm.
what institution of government is going to be here to actually maintain order on the land? The Moroccan Empire is the only one that, and we already set up prophecy wise to do so. This is why it's happening. This is why we're being introduced to this information. And guess what? We up against the
What?
odds because it's not a lot of people who even recognize what we're even talking about.
Mm-mm.
Zero people
Nope.
on the line right now.
So then that means infinite intelligence, the universe, or the Great Mother is going to throw herself on us. She's
Or
gonna.
we have, yes, because change always happens from a subculture, a subculture,
Mm-hmm.
a subculture. So it's
Yeah.
deep embedded in there, and that subculture is going to
Mm-hmm.
manifest, right? It's going to manifest
Yeah.
because you know how
It's gonna be like a virus.
the way it look, the way it is done usually is everything starts on the grassroots, right? But
Yeah.
then it gives master exposure, and then what you got, the agents come through. Now they start compromising the original intent.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even gone through the process of even having a critical mass yet.
Mm-mm.
Not yet.
Not
But guess
yet.
what? Imagine this time next year, because we already seeing hints of this knowledge penetrating through the psyche of the messenger. It's penetrating. Why? How do we know
Mm-hmm.
this? How do we know that it's penetrating? I'm hearing a lot of people saying stuff that they wasn't saying prior, and it's alluding to what the Moors have been saying for years. Like now you got that whole FBA thing going on, Foundational Black Americans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all in the spirit of trying to have a political identity. They say it's a lineage, a group of lineage, right? That's not too
Mm-hmm.
far fetched from what we've been saying about us being Moors and that being our consanguinity, right? Our
Yeah.
bloodline, our birthright. I mean, how y'all
Yeah.
y'all are just using different language to making it seem like to disassociate the fact that y'all been watching the Moors. Y'all been watching the Moors. Let's be honest. A lot of people just been watching the Moors, sitting in the background taking notes, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to fully give credit and say, "Oh yeah, I learned this from a Bay or an L or a
Mm-hmm.
Day," right? But that's what they're
Yeah.
getting. Most of the information you say, you're gonna see a renaissance happen, man, because we on point
Mm-hmm.
about what we're talking about with nationality, right?
Yeah.
On
Yeah. That's some
point.
strong
Like,
shit.
it's going to eventually snap. Like, okay, yeah, but like recently, Ti went viral by saying reparations can't happen. It only is reserved for a nation.
Who
We
said
can't we
that?
can't get reparation until we assemble ourselves into a nation of people. That went viral.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got
Yeah.
to realize that we're going to be by us actually genuinely getting into this knowledge and genuinely getting this information. We're about to be the
Mm-hmm.
teachers of our people in the future. That's what you're
Yeah.
signing up for.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
I'm
to
ready.
because what they're dependent upon is falling apart.
Yes.
Once they master fall,
Yeah.
what we're
They're gonna
saying
have.
gonna look a lot more better. What we're saying gonna look a lot more better for you.
It's gonna. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot more appealing there. It's gonna make a
It's gonna be a
whole
lot
lot more.
more appealing, yes. Because
Yeah. They're gonna make a
your
lot.
master system falling. And I'm not saying I'm not holding my tongue. Yeah, your master, his system
Mm-hmm.
falling. He is your
Yeah.
master.
Master's household.
See, we gotta be honest,
Master.
man. We gotta be honest, man. We just gotta be honest.
Yeah.
So-called black people, man. The Europeans operating on your land are your masters. Stop
Mm-hmm.
acting like they not. They control your ass. Look at what happened
Mm-hmm.
recently. Look at all these rappers being locked up, right? On the RICO
Mm-hmm.
Act. That's a setup.
Mm.
How do they
Mm.
always conveniently create laws and we the ones end up being the ones being affected by the law? It's
Israel.
crazy. It's crazy how, and then I see why it is, right? Because I guess it's more entertaining to watch us degenerate, our degenerates. It's more entertaining to
Yeah, they
watch our.
started.
They got hella degenerates in their community. Stop it. Why
Yeah,
y'all always?
it's.
You got all of these people online, right? All they
Mm-hmm,
do is report what's going on in the so-called black community, right?
mm-hmm,
Like what's happening with P Diddy? Why is P Diddy being? And I'm not condoning nothing he did. He's a nasty motherfucker. What I'm saying, my
mm-hmm.
point is, there's been nasty motherfuckers before P Diddy. Why the hell
Yeah, why now? And why just him?
P
Well,
Diddy, Bill
R.
Cosby,
Kelly,
R.
R.
Kelly,
Kelly, and
all of
they
these are
tried to get
melanated
Candy.
beings. All of these are melanated people, right? That they put up
Mm-hmm.
there to make it seem like they're the predators.
Yeah.
When there's countless amounts of Europeans that's behind this shit. They just start
I
talking
mean.
about how there's a lot of police that was getting arrested for um, letting that shit go and now reporting shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
this shit is way bigger than P Diddy, y'all. This is bigger than R. Kelly.
Yeah.
This is bigger than Bill Cosby, y'all. This is bigger than them. Like
Mm-hmm.
I said, they
And
got
I
what they
guarantee you,
deserve.
Jeffrey did.
Man, this is what I'm saying. People
Yeah.
always try to mention him, but he's not the only one. Look at Hugh Hefner. Look at look at what was that other dude name? What the fuck? I can't think of his name. But this countless
uh,
motherfuckers. What's the name?
the one
Jerry
that
that married the 14-year-old
yeah.
girl.
Mm-hmm.
He was a
Yeah,
movie
for
star or something,
Hustler,
right?
the one who
Because in some
started
states,
Hustler. Wait.
it's legal to marry a 16-year-old with the parents' consent.
Mm.
So we got to go deeper into the culture and stop blaming individuals. So we ignore the whole culture of this trafficking. This America itself is culture is trafficking people.
Yeah.
The
That's
whole
how it was
culture of
set up.
America is trafficking people.
Yeah, it was set up that way. And then not only that, but here's something. Here's to the Democrats out there. Okay, they're the only. They killed their own president, Kennedy. When Kennedy started
You think the
um,
Democrats were behind
exposing.
that?
Come on, is he okay? If you had a Kennedy today, if Kennedy was running for office today, and for
Right.
everything that he stood for, remember he was the one that came out and exposed the hidden hand that's in government.
Yeah, he really that was around the time they came up with they came up with the concept because of what he was exposing of deep state.
Yeah, okay, he was exposing the deep state. All right,
Right.
would he be the right candidate of the Democrats right now? If he was a candidate of the Democrats, don't you think they would take him out themselves?
I think so because they out look, I wouldn't say the deep state is Republican. The deep state is bipartisan though.
Yeah, they work through whoever's in office.
Right. The deep
Whoever,
state is bipartisan.
whoever's, yeah, whoever's in there,
As a matter
they
of
gonna
fact,
throw.
that dynamics between Democrat and Republicans plays in the interest of the deep state
Mm-hmm. In what way? Explain.
because they got the people looking at these two polarities when they both are behind closed doors negotiating with each other. Like Democrat, Republicans, they've
Mm-hmm.
always, they've always, when it's not campaign time, been
Mm-hmm.
caught doing negotiating deals with each other behind closed doors. But when they get in Congress, they act like they at odds with each other all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's a part
Yeah.
of the, that's the part of how the deep state festers in this supposedly checks and balance institution called the United States government, right? It can
Mm-hmm.
it create the climate where corruption can always, cronyism and corruption can happen. No, they want to.
Yeah.
Last year they passed, they wrote a bill to get money out of campaigns, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that shit
And
didn't go through.
hell no, they I don't know how they didn't, but it was in the best interest of the people, so they can reestablish or retake take back their government, take back their election, because the election is totally hijacked by corporate interests.
Yeah. Well, who started America? Was it started as a corporation? I mean, isn't it a corporation anyway?
Yes, it was. It was started. The United States of America was started to maintain European colonialization on indigenous peoples, Moorish people land.
And what? Ain't a damn thing changed since then.
Hell no!
Not a damn thing changed.
Why in the, why, like, this is why they want to push this narrative that we run our independent from Britain. No, they didn't. Not according to the treaty of Paris,
What, Article 1?
Article One of the Treaty
Treaty
of
of
Paris. Yes, right.
Definitive.
Because in that it says His Botanical Majesty recognized them. I mean, he recognized them as sovereign, and recognized them as such. I'm paraphrasing. So
Mm-hmm.
the authority that the United States of America is operating on is the authority, and we got court cases to prove this too. Godfrey versus the people versus Godfrey, the
Yeah.
people versus Godfrey, where a military police officer killed another soldier with a bayonet, and the state claimed jurisdiction, and then the federal government claimed jurisdiction because it happened on a military base. The state ended
Okay.
up winning the case because the state invoked the state invoked that they have the original charter. They have the original charter from the 13 colonies. New York State was one of the ones that was mentioned.
Yeah.
They have the original, and they won the case against the federal government.
Okay.
That is precedence of law that the states are way more powerful than the federal governments. We know that through
Yeah.
the own way how the Constitution is written.
Now, is that all 50 states or just those 13 states?
It applied to any state that is referred to as a state based on the Northwest Ordinance. Y'all got to go read the Northwest Ordinance, because the Northwest Ordinance was the requirements of a state becoming a state. It was written inside of that.
Okay.
The Northwest
So this is
Ordinance.
so it made it possible for the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, all the way to the 50th state to be established,
Right.
or
Because they just
51 with
became
Israel.
that. See, before they what they call it, deforticide. I can't think of the word right now, but they split the United States up into two entities at that time, and it became one. It became republic. They kept the republic, but you can only invoke the republic side, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you in your private capacity. But if you're a corporate citizen, meaning you got a social security card, all that, you've already
Mm-hmm.
contracted with the corporation. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't invoke the republic if you already.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you got to always put them on notice on who you actually are. This is why it's
Mm-hmm.
important for us to put them on notice through our government, though. Because I went through
Mm-hmm.
all that too, the whole sovereign, the whole the whole sovereignty doctrine that was being promoted, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Europeans have basically created what you call sovereign citizens and shit. Well, that was a term created by the United States government to criminalize people who were pushing this idea of what I was saying to invoke to invoke the republic and opposed to invoking this corporate entity or living within the corporate entity, calling
Yeah, I
itself
remember
corporate.
when they was passing out these forms where you try to get out of becoming a commercial citizen and becoming a
Right, right,
sovereign.
right, right, right. So
People were getting in
most people,
trouble.
right. So the Republican, the Republic is still in operation, but there's not enough people invoking it because most of them have contracted to be corporate citizens and opposed to natural born, breathing, living, breathing human being citizens and invoke the
Mm-hmm.
Republican, the Constitution. Because because they can't even invoke the Constitution because the Constitution was suspended, right, based on executive
Mm-hmm.
orders. Executive orders suspended
Mm-hmm.
the Constitution. We are still in wartime. They never relinquished the wartime conditions
Oh,
of the
martial
government.
law. After
They never
we're still.
relinquished martial law. We still in martial law right now.
Mm-hmm.
We still under
Yeah.
executive orders, mainly
Mm.
100 executive order 100.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, hey, it's been almost 2 hours now.
All right, we can close it out. Get your last words in.
Last words. Well, hmm, interesting. Well, here we go. At the end of coming to the end of a year, a new election, and whoever get elected, they're not going to change your life. They're not going to change anything unless Trump get rid of income tax and just fund the government through tariffs. Now, yeah, that would be something. But imagine we get our government back, we get our sovereignty back, and we charge them tariffs. That means no more poverty for us. We become a first world people again. I like that idea, and I'll fight for that no matter what. So that's where I end the night. Next.
Um, all I want to say, my last word is stop falling for the illusion and get. You have to get deeper substance within yourself so you won't be acceptable to the illusions because this is what they play on. They play on shallow, materialistic, superficial people. These are the people who are prime profiles, are prime for the matrix. You got to get some substance about yourself, man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get some depth about yourself because you're going to fall for anything when you are simple minded, like most people are.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I would suggest as my last word is study, study, study. Because once you study, when you study enough, then
Mm-hmm.
study some more.
Just study some more. Okay. That's good.
Think you
That's good
studied enough,
advice.
study some more.
Yeah, because I know I haven't studied enough. Nowhere near enough.
I know because nobody really has time to do it. that's another that's another thing that I encourage that we have to become more self sustainable. Even if that means becoming self employed, you gotta be able to take your life into your own hands and stop being um, dependent upon
A
anything else
job.
besides yourself. Self sustainability is the idea. We need to promote that, right? Because that's the
Mm-hmm.
only way we're going to survive, really. Because we've been we've been dependent on this system, and it's collapsing. So we're gonna have to be self-sustainable in the future. And now we
We're
do
gonna
that.
have to learn how to make our money work harder for us than we can work for it, and that means we got to know the right place to put the money to work for us. And not everybody know, but I'm gonna show you this. Let me blow this up. Mm, Okay. Well, it's not. It's not. Let me show it.
I
This
see
is
it.
a chart. You see it? Okay. Yeah. This is the Fed Fund futures. You see that little green dot? Right there. Oh shit. Okay. All these big moves up are recessions. That green, all those green, those are recession. The red, those are economic booms. We just came out of the boom. You see the green starting to go up, and all the indicators are at the bottom. Let me show you the indicators. This indicator right here, the MACD, is at the bottom. This thing is just getting started. If interest rates go back to zero, this motherfucker will make you so much fucking money. I mean, there's no limit to how much money that can be made. Because interest rates are going back to zero. Last week, the government, well, this month, the interest payment on the debt reached $1 trillion. The reason why it's at $1 trillion because interest rates are at 5% on the Fed fund. And there's trillions and trillions of dollars of debt coming due that has to be refinanced. They cannot afford to refinance that debt at these levels. The refinancing of the debt is more than the military budget. So,
Hmm.
do you think they're going to refinance that debt at 5%? Or do you think they're going to let something happen and let rates go back down to zero and then refinance the debt? They have no
Hmm.
other choice.
So you
And
saying making
so,
money off of these transactions that's happening regard that's inevitable to happen.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, if you could come, if I was you, I would probably come up with a lecture. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's up to you. You can charge or you can give it to them for free or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I would create a lecture explaining how people can take advantage of these interest rates rising.
Yeah, short-term interest rates called the Fed Fund futures. And they got another one called SOFR, but the Fed Fund futures is better because SOFR you only make $2,500 a point, but on the Fed Fund futures it's $4,100 a point. So every 100 basis point move is $4,100 per position, and you can buy these options. Here's this is crazy.
I mean,
Let's
listen, this
say,
is why I know they're going to continue to do this irresponsible economy. They're going to continue to operate. I'm saying it's irresponsible because it makes the American people slaves. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? And they're going to
okay,
continue to do it because there's so much money that's can be made from them just continue to inflate the dollar, inflate the dollar, inflate the dollar,
well, they have
and
no choice. They have no choice but to inflate the all the countries, all governments are in the same boat at the same time.
why? Because they're
China's,
all practicing the same practices.
yeah, even the BRIC nations. Russia is doing good, but China's doing bad, real bad. So when governments do bad, they take it's easy for them to take you to war. But let's say
That-
we
Ain't
pick
that
up
why? Ain't that why they about to go at it with Korea? Ain't they?
no Taiwan.
Taiwan. Okay.
They're going to invade Taiwan and take over the chip market. Taiwan, they're number one leaders in chips. They're gonna go take all their chips, but
Right, right.
this
Yeah,
not
and
gonna be a.
it is some shit heating up with Korea too, I believe.
Oh, Korea is already sending. Well, there's talk about they might go walk into South Korea, but North Korea is sending troops to Russia to fight against Ukraine. The Ukraine, they just their people, they're deserting. All the men in their army. I hear they're deserting the army.
With the
They're
Ukrainian
like,
the Ukrainian army.
yeah, they have a high
Because they
number
really
of
don't have no
deserts.
you. I mean, I did the history check on this shit, man. There is no such thing as no fucking Ukraine. That's Russia, man. Ukraine was an experiment by Europeans that came in there and created Ukraine. The history is like really suspicious, man. The history of Ukraine is suspicious as fuck. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They
Okay,
they
but
they
let me.
they basically they created what we're calling today Ukrainians so that they can have a foothold on Russian land, man. Period. I'm talking about if you follow the
Okay.
history of how Ukraine came about.
Well, that's what they're trying to do.
And it's a
Now,
European venture. It's a European, I mean, European. That's why you got so many Western nations that supporting Ukraine. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So we that's a lot of time why conflicts and things in history and politics it goes over people's heads. They gotta understand the history. You gotta have some going back to what I just said, study, 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 man.
yeah. Okay, but let me get back on this point. Okay, let's say we all put together $38,000 and picked up 100 of these options. All right, rates
Mm.
are at 5%, and rates go to zero. Look, let's say every time when rates drop 100 basis points, all right, you have 38,000 times $4,100. Wait. $380 times 100. Okay, that's $38,000. Now, $4,001 times. God damn. All right, 100 points. If we have 100 options, and it gains $4,100. Okay, every 100 basis points is $400,000. Wait, no, that's 4.1 million dollars.
Wow.
Okay, uh, they have to hike rates because they're afraid that they see something in employment is that nobody's hiring anymore, and the hiring phase stopped. So that's usually the first step before you go and step into something really ugly.
Well, you see how all of these different companies are going out of business?
Oh yeah, yeah. All these institutions
That
are
can play a part on why a lot of people are not being hired. A lot of times you got to realize a lot of times all of these corporations work in tandem with each other because they kind of all own this is the what we call in globalization, right?
hmm
Globalization meaning there are a few corporations that own all the other corporations on the planet, right?
yeah.
So
Black.
whenever they really want to try to they reset stuff, right? And all those remember those mergers of all those different companies, they merged together. This company merged with this company. I mean, example of that is uh,
Well,
remember when Taco Bell was merged with what was the other company they were both You can go buy. You can buy some Taco Bell, and you can buy some. What was the other number at the same building? They were merged, right?
Uh-huh.
See, we
Yeah,
got to
but
understand the global aspect of that because there are only a few corporations on a global level that own all these other corporations, right? And like
well,
I
the
said,
biggest corporation
reset
here, the
when
biggest
they want to
corporation is
reset,
BlackRock. You heard you know how much BlackRock is worth or how much they're controlling? 10 point
uh,
something trillion dollars. Okay. You know, a company, a corporation that controls 10 point trillion dollars, you know, they can buy any politician anywhere on the planet. They can buy any government,
well,
10
this is what I
trillion
was getting
dollars.
to if you didn't cut me off. But what I'm
Oh,
saying is
sorry.
their power is limitless as it pertains to political yield based on they own all these corporations, which all these politicians would probably work for, or they got a direct
Mm-hmm.
connection somewhere, like it's either indirect or direct, and they can basically determine the career of any politician. They can determine the career of anybody. They own the corporation, or they got influence in that corporation to where they can make anything happen in that respect. So this is
Mm-hmm.
where the unemployment shit is going up because they said, okay, we wanna reset the whole economy right now and make it where we're gonna what they're resetting it to is you notice that they having a lot of self checkouts now.
Yeah. But the main thing that's affecting the world is the debt. Okay. We're on the verge of a major debt implosion. Okay, the debt is so out of hand. Not the global debt right now. They say is over $100 trillion. So many hundreds of trillions of dollars. The numbers are stupid.
This is what I'm saying. The whole all of humanity is enslaved to that debt
Yeah, and
through their government. And you said every government is in that economic condition right now. So
yep,
all of these governments have sold the people out, basically.
yeah, and they're ready to give up their own sovereignty to whoever, who the fuck ever.
This is why I suggest people don't vote because when you vote, all you're voting for is from them to continue to put you in debt.
Yeah, and take away your freedom.
Well, think about what they're saying. That is taking away your freedom because you become a sure tied to that debt. Now it's like a bond. It's like literally a literal bond that everyone because a surety bond is what it's called, a surety bond,
Hmm.
right? A surety bond, and we all co-suretized to it. Co-suretized meaning we all are responsible for it, meaning all those who under the contract, meaning if you operate through your birth certificate, social security card, and doing that, you are
Hmm.
co-sure tied to that national debt and maybe that even global debt
Oh shit. Oh
because
fuck.
you will be silly not to think that all of these nations are not already in cahoots and that there's already a one world government already.
Hmm. Already. They've
There's already
probably been
one
that way
world.
so long.
Why would
Shit,
you
ever
think
since.
they would have to? Why would you think all these BRICS countries would have to come with a counter plan? Why the BRICS?
Hmm.
They're coming up
Well,
with
they're
a
trying
counter
to get
plan
around the SWIFT.
because,
They
huh?
they're tired of this system. They're tired of this Western civilization, this mechanism that the Europeans put together called the United States of America to implement.
Not only that, but they see where it's going. They see what they're trying to do. They're seeing the globalist agenda. It's a globalist
Hmm.
agenda to make everyone co-suretized to these debts that these bankers, these international banks, are creating for these. these international banks are the ones merging all these. They own these international banks are the ones that own the corporation that I was talking about just now. They own all the corporation, and I'm talking about not only in America,
Mm-hmm.
around the planet.
All over the world. Yeah. Yeah, it's a global thing. America is just another pawn with a lot of guns.
Right. I just explained globalization to you. We just basically explained globalization,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because these are multinational billionaires. They're beyond billionaires. They print the money type motherfuckers. They print the money
These
so they don't work.
motherfuckers don't. They don't use paper money. These motherfuckers
No,
got gold and silver.
no,
They
that's
just
something
use.
that's something for the peasants.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something for the peasants. They have other mechanisms that they're able to use.
Right.
Yeah. These sheets of paper means nothing.
It's a Ponzi. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Yes, it is. It's a Ponzi scheme. But you want to get these pieces of papers and turn them into something valuable while you still can.
Well, the thing about it is, it's still the Ponzi scheme is valued on the people actually not knowing that it's a Ponzi scheme. The value is still there because the people are participating.
Yeah, you know what people do know is the Ponzi scheme is still participating. So I mean, it's
Oh
like,
yeah, of course, but the mass majority of the people don't really recognize it.
uh,
They just happy to get through there every day and they can pay all their damn debt. And the grocery shit went up so much, man. It's crazy. This shit about to woo, I can't wait either. I love it. I love it
yeah,
me
and
personally. I love it. I can't wait, man. Because imagine food prices is so high right now. Imagine what it's gonna be next year. This time next year.
I know.
Like I'm saying, like I can how this how I know, bro. $100 used to get me at least two, probably sometimes three or two and a half bags of groceries, right?
hmm
I can barely get one bag of groceries now with $100.
Well, I can fit $100 worth of groceries in this bag, easy.
Exactly. See, you can probably get $100 worth of $100 worth of groceries. That's if you go to one of them lower income stores like Food for Less,
Oh, I don't know. That shit fire. You know,
where guess what? 9 times out of 10, that ain't even food.
yeah. I go to 99 Ranch Market in Van Nuys, and that's some
You
real
can
food.
see those little mom and pops are somewhat even though they're going corporate too. A lot of them are going corporate. If they own more than one franchise, they didn't went corporate, and they, you know what I'm saying. When you go corporate, you start buying past certain shit so you can keep the production
hmm
going. So you start instead of actually because people. Somebody asked the question. Somebody was critically thinking about how there's a chicken place in Chicago, right? And they
hmm
estimated that they were serving, uh, fit, they said 15,000 chickens a day.
Damn.
And I'm like,
Where?
where the fuck is all these chickens coming from, man? And that's just one store, 15,000 a day.
Damn. I mean, out of a grocery store or a
No,
restaurant
no, no.
or.
This is a popular chicken place in Chicago. I think it's called
Uh-huh.
Harold. Harold's Chicken, right?
Damn. Well, they got a line. Okay. There was
Right.
just
They
one
got
store.
it's just like how Popeyes is doing. Popeyes doing them numbers too every day.
Oh, well, like when you fly, like when I was flying from Mississippi one time,
Mm-hmm.
we were landing in Jackson, and this white lady showed me these real long ass 10 these buildings with the iron with the metal roofs. They're made
Mm-hmm.
out of look. The building's made out of tin or they're wood with the metal roofs on them, and they're
Right.
like blocks long. She said those are chicken coops.
There are chicken what? Coops?
Coops, yeah.
Oh,
Or those are chicken farms. They're
I don't
raising
give a
chickens.
fuck how many chicken. Listen, let's estimate it. How many chicken do they have to fulfill the orders on a daily of every freaking restaurant that serve chicken? How many do you think they
I
gonna have
don't
to have?
know. Shit, hey, there should only be a finite supply of chickens, huh? We should have
Listen,
ran out of chickens by now.
the
The way
math
we
ain't math enough. Simple as that, man. Let's just be real. This shit ain't math
That's why I
enough,
eat
man.
fish.
Listen,
That's
chickens
why I
do
eat
not
wild
produce
fish.
themselves at the number. Chickens do not even produce themselves at the number of the production. Like they are selling, one store selling 15,000 chickens a day.
I mean, unless they got a million horny ass black cocks out there just fucking the shit out of
It's
all them hens.
it's impossible, man. You can try to reason with it all you want to. It's impossible for them to produce this many goddamn chickens as people was eating every damn day. It's impossible.
Oh shit! Imagine how many hot wings. They're bags and bags of hot wings in America. America, period. Imagine how many grocery stores in America, in all the cities and in all 50 states in America that have
Right.
big old family-sized bags of hot chicken wings, little winglets and drumlets.
Oh my god.
Where did them motherfuckers come from?
I hate to because I know people are disgusted when they don't want to hear about. They probably having they probably not they probably been had their dinner, but it's
Uh,
crazy how people don't even think about this and they just fucking these chickens up, man.
yeah, I call that
And
shit
then
Joe Dan.
not even talking about we about to enter into what I call nationwide turkey genocide day.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Thanksgiving.
Like,
Yeah.
where in the fuck are y'all about to produce all these turkeys that's gonna be needed for Thanksgiving? Where y'all producing this
I
shit?
know millions, quadrillions of turkeys.
Because turkey is served year round too now. You know that.
Oh yeah.
So
Damn.
they gotta accommodate for that. And every year, nigga, it got to be hundreds of millions of them motherfuckers being served on plates every year.
Well, they're getting tired of feeding people meat. They say we're tired of growing these cows, these chickens. We just gonna grow some insects and gourmet them motherfuckers and feed them to you.
What if they can mass produce the amount of chickens that's ate every day, but they bypass the normal, natural way that they produce themselves, man? That's the only conclusion you can come to, man.
Yeah,
They
it's
have
Franken
to
chicken,
they have to have some technology where they can
Frankenstein chicken.
listen, man. It gotta be. It got to be.
Yeah, not
KFC was sued, right? This is why people don't even know this. That I never knew this shit. Why did they take the chicken off? Because it ain't
because it's
chicken no more.
not. Yeah, it was funny. This is how naive some people are. I was with one of my friends, and this Chick-fil-A commercial came on,
Right.
and we were talking about that. I said, I bet you like maybe only like 30% of it is chicken. How do you know? How do you know it's not real? Who you're the first person I ever heard say something like that.
What? Are you serious? Now, don't get me wrong, man, because right now there's a new renaissance happening where people are doing getting farm like product now where it comes directly from a farm and like Whole. That's why I shop at Whole Foods,
Mhm.
right? It's a little
Yeah.
bit more expensive, but Whole
Yeah.
Foods, it comes they basically the model, their business model is all their food is organic and it comes from some a real farmer that they got a business deal with a farmer, actual farmer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trader
but then
Joe's.
we don't know for a fact that they're not dealing with farmers who are implementing or applying certain techniques to speed up the production. We don't know, but
Yeah.
they kind of let it be known as conscious of that. They kind of conscious of that at Whole Food. They like we're not going to allow people who are doing things practices in that manner to bring their products to our store,
Yeah.
right? But we don't know. We don't know for sure if Whole Foods is not doing any whatever. I don't know. But I would rather go to where because food for less, you're not non
Oh
non that's
shit.
not food.
Don't trust that meat. Don't trust that meat. But man, like I said, I go to the 99 Ranch Market. I buy big old giant sea monsters, fishes that be so fucking huge, and I have them scale them, gut them, and cut them, chop them in half. I buy a big old giant 20-pound Atlantic salmons, have them cut that motherfucker up. And I bring it home and I'll fillet the bone. I'll fillet it, take the bones out, and then everything that's left over after I fillet it, I boil that shit, and that's my chicken of the sea right there. And then man, yellowtail, goddamn, yellowtail look like fucking beef steaks. When you
Right,
fucking debone a yellowtail, that shit, you can't tell the difference between that and a beef steak or pork.
right.
I mean, there are some fishes out there, man. I'm not that shit that you buy in Ralph's or food for less. You got to go to these Asian 99 Ranch Market. That's an Asian store, so they you
Well,
got
some of them stores are mom and pops, and they still like are really not have went corporate yet. They not
hmm yeah,
franchising. They're not big. Even if they are franchised, they keep it kind of small. When you
yeah.
deal with those type of corporate, they kind of still doing it the natural way somewhat. They still
hmm
kind of getting their food directly from the people who actually go out there and do it to keep. You know what I'm saying? Some for the
You
most
getting
part.
organic shit. No Asians not going to go to. They're not going to go to no CB. Go to food for less and buy that shit and give that shit to their kids unless they real poor and got left
See, and
behind.
that's it. That's what we need to really figure out because you got this whole thing in the Jewish community called culture meat, right?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be. They say it's supposed to be prayed over meat. They pray over it and everything. I don't know. It's supposed to be
Mm,
kosher meat, right? But
yeah.
I think, me personally, I think this is the meat that is the good meat, and the meat that everybody else is getting is meat.
Yeah.
It's
They
meat
getting the
that
good
oh
shit.
no, it's the meat that they want to. You know, y'all can have this.
Yeah. They
Y'all
getting
can
that
have
shit with
that right there. We
cancer.
got this
That
kosher
shit
meat,
got
and we
cancer.
making sure our shit ain't contaminated with all type of bullshit and modified and shit. That's what they doing.
Yeah.
I can't hate on them. This is the thing about what they teach us in this culture, right? They
hmm
teach us that racism is a bad thing.
hmm
Racism is not a bad thing. To do what's in the best interest of your people, that's what racism is. That's all racism is.
That's not
I want
bad. And
see,
a lot of people doing that.
huh?
A lot of people doing that. That's what the Jews are doing.
I mean, listen. See, it got a negative connotation because what they're calling racism is really prejudice against another community,
Yeah.
right? Because racism is just securing the best interest of your people. That's it.
Okay.
That's racism.
So
Racism
racism and
is not
prejudice,
racism is not
prejudice are two
necessary.
different things.
Racism is not necessarily hating on another group of people.
Okay.
That's prejudice.
Yeah.
That's hate
Well,
against another group.
okay. Well, let's cut it short here because I'm about to fall out.
All right. right, we'll be back next weekend. So
Yeah, we'll be back.
ancestors willing.
Yeah. I think they will.